Yo, what up, everyone? This is Brian Bracamontes, also known as Teleco 760. Subscribe to or follow my YouTube channel, Twitch channel, and Instagram.
Alright, you guys, welcome back to another gameplay of War Thunder. This is the 13th episode, or 13th gameplay hour, whatever. I have 13 hours playing this game, I guess. A little bit more. Anyways, we're gonna do another lesson. We're gonna learn about another plane. So let's see, we've done these three already. Let's see, light bomber, hydroplane. Yeah, we'll do these two. We'll do this one next. If you guys do not want to learn or don't care for any of this, either fast forward or skip ahead, and yeah. Alright, let's see. USA, okay, whatever. The OS-2U-1 Kingfisher is a rank 1 American hydroplane bomber with a battle rating of 1. It has been in the game since the start of the open beta test prior to update 1.27. The OS-2U-1 is the predecessor of the more advanced OS-2U-3 Kingfisher. Max speed at 1700 meters, 290 kilometers, turn time 33 seconds, max altitude 5950. Pratt and Whitney are, that's the engine, radial, air, takeoff is 3 tons. OS-2U has horrendous flight performance, even for a 1.0 aircraft with a 4.5 meters per second climb rate in arcade battles and a 5.1 meter climb rate in realistic battles. The spaded version boosts the rate climb to 9.9 meters per second for arcade battle, which is a rather significant improvement, whereas the realistic battles rate of climb only increased by 1.7 meters per second. The turn time in the abysmal 35.6 seconds stock in arcade battles and 39 seconds in realistic battles. When upgraded, the turn time is 31.1 for arcade battles and realistic battles. You guys can view that stuff, it doesn't really matter. Let's go to ammunition 500, 1000, whatever. Alright, let's read this. The Kingfisher is classified as a bomber and as such in spawn at altitude. Primarily, it should be used in ground attack role across all game modes. If possible, stay out of the sight of the enemy and try to take indirect routes to desired targets. Single 7.62mm gun is capable of destroying artillery, AAA stationary, and on trucks and armored cars. Tanks and light fuel boxes cannot be destroyed with such a small machine gun caliber, but only with bombs. Cargo ships will require a single 100-pound hit on deck. Landing crafts may be taken out by gunfire, but will require lots of hits. It is not effective at downing planes, as even if the opponent has a level 1 pilot, it will take 2 direct hits to knock them out. Even more if they have invested some crew points in vitality. As such, it is best to entirely avoid confrontations of any sort in the OS-2U. If an opponent is approaching you from the rear, it is best to try to scare them off with the machine gun before they approach firing range. That's nice to know. Sorry, you guys, I'm multitasking, trying to upload the 11th gameplay video currently. Let's move this down. Pros and cons. Hold on 1 second, you guys. I apologize. Okay, pros: can land on water. It can also land on land, with damage to the floats, but nothing major. It's a useful plane in domination, where it can land on capture point quickly to secure the points for your team. Though beware, you may lose too much speed in order for you to take off again. This plane cannot gain speed while on land. Center float can protect the plane from attack from below. You can ram the other planes with the float, especially wings. Cons: terrible speed compared to other float planes, extremely fragile. Weak offensive armament consists of one 7.62mm machine gun and barely adequate to destroy lightly armored vehicles. Weak defense armament: one 7.62 machine gun cannot extensively damage planes of its tier with a burst, and also has bad coverage. Two 100-pound bombs is a weak payload, only sufficient to take out lightly armored equipment and vehicles. Armor is non-existent. Crew is sufficiently lacking in protection, especially for the pilot. Tail gunner is easily knocked out. Poor acceleration. Loses energy rapidly in turns. Bombs can be difficult to aim due to the lack of bomb sight. So basically, don't use this vehicle in this game unless you're trying to progress through the line. OS2U Kingfisher, built by Bot Sikorsky Aircraft Division, was catapult launch observation float plane designed by Rex Beazle, a design engineer responsible for F4U Corsair. Kingfisher was assembled in using a revolutionary spot welding construction, which created a smooth fuselage that generated less drag. It also had a number of innovative features. Let's see. Where is it? It also had a number of innovative features such as deflector plate flaps and drooping ailerons used to create additional lift at low speeds, which improved control of the plane. First prototype XOS2U flew in 1938 and the first production variant was delivered in 1940. Despite its modest performance, it gradually started replacing Curtiss SOC Seagull biplane and ended up as U.S. Navy's main ship-launched scout plane during World War II. It stayed in use much longer than expected because its successor, Curtiss SO3C Seamew, suffered from various issues, most notably engine failures. OS2U-3 first flew on 17 May 1941. It was very similar to OS2U. The main difference from its predecessor was additional self-sealing fuel tanks in the wings and improved armor protection for the pilot. It had a 450 horsepower or 336 kilowatt, or I think kilowatt, whatever, Pratt & Whitney R985AN2 engine. All Kingfishers were powered by different versions of its engine. It was armed with a 7.62mm gun in the nose hidden inside the engine compartment and a 7.62mm gun in a dorsal turret on a flexible ring mount. Also, apart from 100-pound bombs, it was able to load 325 pounds of depth charges. The OS-2U3 was the most produced variant, with just over 1,000 units built. It was the only export variant, and it served in many countries from Uruguay and Australia, including the Soviet Union, aboard cruiser Murmansk, USS Milwaukee. Last of the Kingfishers were drawn from service on Cuba in 1959. While some were deployed to land bases, OS-2U-2 installed the wheels instead of floats, were mostly used for training. Most of the Kingfishers operated from U.S. Navy's heavy and light cruisers and battleships. The violent launch was done into the wind by catapult powered with a cannon shell. Landing required the ship to make a turn in order to create a patch of relatively calm sea surface, where Kingfisher could land and then taxi to the sled used to pull it closer to the ship's crane, which would hoist it back on deck. In early 1940s, seaborne radar was a rarity and still primitive. The eyes and ears of the fleet of warships were limited at best. This is where the observation aircraft was imperative. A battleship would launch a Kingfisher seaplane, and the aircraft would then control the surrounding seas for hundreds of miles for hours at a time. Depending on the threat, the Kingfisher might be looking for anything as huge as an enemy fleet or as small as deadly as a single enemy submarine. In the case of the latter, the Kingfish had teeth of its own, even with its limited payload. Kingfishers assisted in sinking of U-boats U-576 and U-176. Simply finding a target or enemy fleet was of immense use to the bridge crew of warship, but the Kingfisher could do more. Once an enemy fleet was identified, it was almost inevitable that the engagement would take place. Even in the 1940s, naval guns were well capable of firing shells in excess of 20 miles. The Kingfisher could fly over an enemy fleet and report directly back to the bridge crew of any warship within its own fleet, giving real-time feedback of accuracy and shot correlations to bring the tremendous firepower onto the target. Furthermore, the importance of naval gunfire did not stop when engaged in other vessels, carrying some of the largest guns in the entire world on mobile platforms. Battleships were the ultimate fire support during the amphibious assault. As U.S. Marines fought their way from the beachheads all across the Pacific theater, the guns of the fleet were often there to eliminate concentrations of enemy troops and heavy defensive positions. Again, the Kingfisher was ideally placed to ensure this supporting fire was accurately and efficiently delivered. Even though it was used in many different roles as trainer, bomber, anti-submarine platform, in Atlantic scout, naval gunfire spotter, etc., the Kingfisher was most respectable for search and rescue missions where it was involved in saving downed airmen in the Pacific. On one occasion, in 1942, over Pacific, a B-17D became disoriented, ran out of fuel, and ditched. After drifting for several weeks without food and water, the crew and passengers were rescued by Kingfisher. With all the survivors on its wings, it could not take off and start taxiing to the nearest enemy before being relieved by a torpedo boat. However, most notably, rescues have happened in 1944 over Guam, when the Kingfisher of USS Indiana rescued 2 downed airmen despite being exposed to fire from several nearby Japanese artillery positions. The only confirmed kill scored with Kingfisher happened on 16 February 1945 at Iwo Jima, and Lieutenant D.W. Gandy shot down a Zero fighter. In-game description: in March 1937, the Chancellor Company, then part the U.S. United Aircraft Corporation obtained an order from the U.S. Navy to design a catapult reconnaissance spotter float plane to replace the obsolete Curtiss SOC biplane. A year later, March 1938, the first prototype XOS-2U-1 took the air in a version with non-retractable landing gear. 2 months later, the first takeoff from water took place. Due to new technology, the prototype showed a considerable improvement in its main performance characteristics compared with its predecessor. It had a longer range, higher service ceiling, and considerably lower takeoff weight. In spite of the fact that a less powerful and lighter engine had been selected, the speed was unchanged and the mean rate of climb was even somewhat higher. However, the more up-to-date design of the monoplane caused the designers a few headaches. By comparison, the SOC, its takeoff and landing characteristics were considerably worse. They had to give up on a central float designed by Vought itself and use an EDO design engine. After several minor improvements, the aircraft was put into series production and accepted by the Navy under the designation Kingfisher, the name of a tiny bird which lives on a lake fish. The production aircraft were fitted with Pratt & Whitney R985-48 Wasp Jr. engine, nominal power 450 horsepower with a two-bladed propeller. Up to the end of 1940, 54 OS-2U-1s had been built, 18 of which were sent to re-equip battleships based at Pearl Harbor and Alameda. Cool. That's pretty much it, you guys. Alright, let's get back to the action. "17 minutes. Not bad. Not bad." One moment, you guys. Alright, let's do this. Is it nighttime?
into the designated grid zone. The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Fuck!
Your left wing's been hit!
Shit!
Pressure on the enemy. They're winning. More pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Hell was cut loose. Damn, we lost already.
This time the enemy has proven strong.
Go straight to battle. This is gonna be my last gameplay video.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
God damn it, I'm sending you in.
We're losing.
The fuck?
We've got to counterattack.
Kill going to the Bird 235. Hello. Yeah, not even watching it no more. Oh, it takes long time to load. Yep. Okay, let's do this. Come on. 1 second. Alright, let's do this. one as me. Let's go to combat mode. Down this whole time? I wonder. God damn. Alright, let's do this again. Where is he? There he is. Revenge? Revenge? It looks like he's leaving now. Let's go next. And he's dead. Go. What the fuck? Oh, okay, there we go. Pilot got knocked out. Bullshit. I got bullshit. How the fuck are they kicking our ass?
Attention to the designated grid zone! We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Bitch, fuck you. Ah. At 44. Repair speed. One more. Go, 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 go. Are you serious?
on the enemy. They're winning. Got a hole in your right wing. Your right wing's been hit.
Fuck, they're gonna beat us.
Attention to the map! Is winning. We must counterattack. Your right wing.
Murdered us. They fucking don't know how to fucking stick together, man.
We've lost, but next time, we'll win.
God. Alright, you guys know what to do. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, and follow my channels. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, good night.